play the video game? Alright.
We're so dysfunctional, but still inseparable. Yeah, we just never get it right. You're playing games with me and my sympathy, but not enough to say goodbye. But if I were to let you go, if I would pack my bags and leave without you and be out there on my own, then I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces. Oh, 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 I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces. Oh, 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 I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces.
But if I were to let you go,
If I would pack my bags and leave without you and be out there on my own, then I would fall into pieces,
fall into pieces. Oh, 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 oh,
pieces, fall into pieces.
oh, oh.
I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces.
Hey, it's me, Fist of the Walrus.
Let's play a little bit more of Subnautica. Just sort of fucking around in this game, to be honest. You guys can... the Twitch mod thing is still on. I honestly would turn it off if I knew how. And just try and play the game. But I don't know how. So...
Warning, emergency power only.
the Twitch mods
Power restored.
thing is still on.
All
You can summon
primary
Reapers and
systems
fuck with the
online.
game and summon up creatures and fill my inventory and open the PDA and stuff. There is a link sub mod. It takes you to a list of ways that you can have stuff happen. It only works with bits. There's nothing else. I don't like bits either, but you know. Ow! God damn, that hurts with a headache.
It's ketamine, Kai.
But yeah, I guess we'll just like fuck around. Like last time, we're sort of slowly progressing through the game, partially because you guys have been giving me presents, like bits have been unlocking like random shit. So I have the prawn for no reason in the game. But I guess we'll just build some stuff in it. Yeah, bruv. If I were to let you go. I should put that on, shouldn't I? Rebreather. What I think I need is another locker. And lockers are titanium and quartz. But yeah, I think we'll just play this for a couple of hours and then I'll probably bugger off. I know streams have been absolute fucking dog shit lately. Or at least I feel like they are. You know, quite short. I've had quite a few short streams, but I don't know, man. I'm mentally unwell. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't got it. I don't got it in me, bro. Nobody wishes I did more than me. Okay, so we'll see how that works out for me as I slowly descend into full manic episode over the next couple months as my life continues to get more and more stressful thanks to moving house. I'll take that. Oliver says that she will be saying they're going to replace Lele in the chat room, and we all know nothing could fill that void. Though it's a very rude way to talk about Lele's
Welcome aboard,
vagina.
Captain.
And as we all know, only I am allowed to talk about the absolute fucking state of that thing. Okay. Leave her alone. Just had a child, alright? That's what happens. It's time for more lockers. Endless lockers. Thousands of them. No. Tens. Tens of lockers will be built. Oh yeah, I went to the big ship, didn't I? Went and had a big ship. And if I were to go to the big ship... What the fuck, bruv? Oh, it needs quartz, not glass. Ah, I hate myself. Wait, like... Yeah, last night I went into the, I was absolutely knackered. I went into the Rhodes Telegram station and there was a corned beefsman in there chatting shit to me. He was like, "What's your name, fella? You like corned beef, fella?" And I'm there writing the longest telegram of my life to Maddie because I'd lost her. And in walks Wade Glass. You won't believe who that was. Who was it? I said hello to him when I went in, but he didn't say anything to me. And then he went, "What's your name?" And I went, "Oh, it's..." And then you were behind me and I was like, fuck. I know he knows my name, but I just in case, I'm not going to say it. So I was like, and he went, "Don't worry about it," and then left. And then I was also like, well, I've got to go too now. Oh, that's Donnie Dollars, huh? Yeah, there you go. He was my first bank negotiation, I think, on Lucian. Oh no, second? Oh, I don't know. One of them. Everyone knows those facts. You notice when you speak to people from law, they're like, "My first shootout was with blah 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 in blah blah blah, and my first bank was blah 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 blah." I can't remember any of it. Even the other day when you and I were like talking, you were like, "Well, this marks 6 months on the force," or something like that, and I was like, "What? We got the badge at the same time. It's been like 2 months, and neither of us knew whether we got it in November or September." I still don't know, by the way, because I wrote it down, but I wrote down that I was deputized on the 7th of November. Is that wrong? Because that's the type of thing that Lucian would remember, but I will forget. But yeah, it seems like... But yeah, you didn't do nothing. I was like, okay, cool. Because you had me, dude. Honestly, if you had just pulled out a gun, you could have marched me down to the office and it would all have been over. The dream. I was done. I was cooked. Pants down, man. Absolute pants down moment. But you didn't say anything. Wade just let me leave. I guess because you walked in and Donnie Dollars was there. Bigger fish to fry. I would have done the same thing. The old butcher's mop. That's all she's got left now. Now I might be a bit pissed. November 7. Okay, so Wade had it wrong. That guy's an idiot. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Cadet 30th of August, Deputy 11th of September. But we got deputized. You got deputized the day after me, right? Or the day before? I love that you were like celebrating and everyone else was like, Wade, you're still not a deputy, you're still a cadet. He's like, "I was deputized on September the 5th, 2015. Wade, sorry to break it to you, but sorry to let you know, bro, but okay. Now, I would like to build a sea moth. Otherwise, Oliver's gonna get fucking pissed off at me. God damn it! I need to go and find another ingredient, another blueprint. Well, shit. Okay. There's a nuclear reactor. What was the other thing I got? Oh, we've got all this stuff. None of it is of use to me. So what do we want to do? We want to go to I'm supposed to be looking for like beacons, am I, and stuff like that? Life pod 4. There is a place, isn't there? There is a place. Oh, the oath. There you go. That was the day. Yeah, I guess you are. Oh, it doesn't fix the fucking prawn? How do I fix it? With the repair thing? Oh, fuck me. Maybe I can just do it here. Jesus, what the hell is that? No. What the fuck is that? Did you summon up a fucking illithid? What the hell is that? Jesus. I want to get the little Spider-Man web-slinging device for this. That makes that really fun to move around in, doesn't it? The prawn. The prawn. Yes. You like this voice? Because this is going to be my next deputy.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Deputy Sean Vertigo.
I'm going to find out your full real name in real life and just name him whatever that is.
This is me, Sean.
Where are you from? Bristol or something, right? Which means you're probably just called, like, Brown.
Yes, it's me, Sean Brown.
He's going to be like a mini-me of Wade Glass. Gonna make him as small as I possibly can and have him crawl around everywhere. He's a weird little clone of Wade Glass.
Hello, everyone. My name is Slade Enameled Glass.
What's another word for glass? Window.
The name's Slade Window. So very nice to meet you. Oh, fear not. I'm just as evil as he is.
Slade Payne.
It's gonna be his name by the time Slade Window appears. Bathhouse character, yeah, fully. They all have like voice modulators on and stuff as well, don't they?
Is it this one? Hello there. My name is Slade Window. Very nice to meet you. Yes. Yes. Hello there. My name is Slade Window. I was crafted by an evil scientist who is a villain in Wade Glass's backstory. He was trying to create a perfect clone of Wade Glass, but instead he made me a creature.
I don't think. Can I even open the PD? Oh, I thought it was gonna work. Tempered glass. The caterpillar, dude. That I think that might be the most I've ever broken character on the server. Was the caterpillar guy. Like I was literally, you know that scene in You know that scene in Doctor Strange where she punches him out of his body? That was me being punched out of character on Lucian. Seamoth? Bioreactor. No good to me. I literally, I couldn't breathe. Around here somewhere is a little hole in the ground. I'm a bit scared to go down into it in this thing. I might not even be able to get back out. I think maybe if we go into there. There's also like some wreckage around here somewhere, I think. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in the game. I remember in this game finding out that there is actually a time limit on what you're doing, which I'm not a massive fan of. I think the building and just taking your time in this game is just as fun as all the other elements, but my name is Slade Window. I once tried to convince people I was a genius, but they saw right through me. Alright, well, that's a ban. That's worth being banned for. Hi, crafty girl. Subnautica is never fair. Subnautica is a cruel and demonic mistress. Alright, we've sort of circumvented around to like this area now. Somewhere around here is a wreckage to search. I think we need to do. But did I actually bring the fucking thing I need? Yeah. The laser cutter, isn't it, that I need? There's some wreckage here which suggests that there is something nearby. What's this? Mobile vehicle. I want the Seamoth. I need one more Seamoth blueprint. I hate puns. What, you hate everything though. What do you like? Top 3 things ever. Top 3 things. It doesn't matter what it can be, as obscure as you want. What are your top 3 things? They have to all be written in the same message, because otherwise everyone's going to type. What a horrible question. Everyone's going to type so many things. What are your top 3 things ever? You know, you can put anything in there, it doesn't matter. Air fryers, jealousy, you know, kittens, Dragon Ball Z, doesn't matter. Dogs, wrote one thing, did exactly the one thing I said don't do. You know. Top 3 things, dogs. Unless all 3 of your top 3 things are dogs. Rabbits, cake, your mum. Leave my mum alone, she's not well. She's fucked her hand up. She's having a fucking nightmare of it. She's fucked up her right hand as well, she's right-handed. It's destroyed her, she can't do anything. Puns, Lollip's face when she hears a pun, and dogs. That's good. Where is that area where there's like... Right, can I get out of the water and see where I am? Okay, there's the ship. So if I go like that way... Vehicle bay again, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Right, this might serve. Oh, I hate this. I hate this the most. And this thing, at what point does this thing start fucking freaking out? The depth pressure stuff. Don't even know if I can get back from here. Oh, this is unacceptable, dude. I hate this so much. It's unreal. What is this?
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Erosion patterns on the land masses suspended here suggest they once floated on the surface.
Oh, that's fucked. Stasis rifle. That's not what I want. The hell is that? I don't need this either. Alright, let's go and look at this thing. It scares me, but... What's that thing called? Thalassophobia? That's what I have in some of these areas. What is that? Just a weird rock. There's an island up there, I guess. Fuck off, bro. Annoying little shit. Now I can go in here, can't I? But I don't want to right now. That's where Shadow's little thing is. He teleported me in here once, I think. The sounds in this game are so scary, but I know that it's just those little fuckers. Propulsion cannon, isn't it? Fuck off. Fuck off. They're so violent down here, dude. Fuck off, dickhead. The sequel, yeah, the sequel. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I kind of hope that it's pretty much the same approach. It might be interesting if it was just a completely different water planet, you know, rather than doing another one on this planet. 'Cause we've sort of had two games with this planet, and while the story is interesting, it would make sense that maybe, you know, they did a different one. Even one that had been... Oh, you've bloody done it, haven't you, you fuckers? Oh my god. It is impossible to... It is so impossible to control with the inverted controls. You'd think that your brain would really easily be like, oh, you just press backwards to go forwards, and there's no such thing as jump, so... But it doesn't. My brain just can't think that. I've got such a headache. I can feel it hurting my head. I can't jump, so I can't even go anywhere. Oh my god, Bradley, get back in the fucking thing, you son of a bitch. Yeah, different planet would be good, but like kind of the same sort of approach. Just, you know. Honestly, just a fucking reskin of this game would be fine for me. Fuck off. Not bad. Yeah, man. Yeah, this ain't broke. You know what I mean? And you know what they say, if it ain't broke, it ain't me. Because I am flat broke right now. A theory. Yeah, I hope I'm not interested in playing this multiplayer, but I know they're gonna do that. But all that means, for every time I hear, oh, co-op mode and multiplayer mode, all I hear is, we put less time into the single player experience. And that just makes me sad. I do think I might be stuck down now. As you know me, I will not play a co-op game unless I'm being paid to do so. Tune in tomorrow for Rip Out with Maya and Orkish. They were taking it into space. Someone made Breath Edge. Breath Edge is literally just Subnautica without the danger, which is the most boring game ever. It's such a shame, really, but that is what it is. You'd think it would work, and then they tried it, and it's just boring as fuck. I feel nervous about being in this area, and I don't know if that's like memory coming back to me. Or if I'm just freaking out because I don't. Oh, it makes me feel so unwell. The bumhole tightening effect. At the edge there. There's also a point where you kind of go off the edge of the map and all that happens is you just get attacked by the biggest, scariest thing in the game, don't you? I know there's a new, like, giant Leviathan they added in a patch that I'm petrified of running into. I'm tensed up again. I've got to stop doing this. No wonder I keep getting headaches. Sitting like a fucking prawn in a chair, absolutely tense to shit because I'm fucking terrified. Curled over at a fucking 90-degree angle. Why did that happen? Don't just play a weird tone like that. Why is my thing broken? Oh, there's a wreckage there. That's what we need. Is it fucking fixing it or what? Why isn't it fixing it? Is that the laser car? Worm Stashes, what's up, my friend? Thank you very much for the resubscription. Resubscriptions, this? You said a resubscription, says. Fuck off. Is it dead? Horrific fucking
Integrating new
War of
PDA
the Worlds
data.
looking motherfucker right there, dude. Oh, it isn't a crash thing, it's plants. The hell is this area?
It's the electricity field spray. You must never go there. The elephant graveyard.
It's narrow wad.
Modulating phase.
Hello, my friend. Welcome in. What's that? Why do I feel like I recognize this? I'm terrified, by the way. I'm dying.
Seek fluid intake.
Oh, Jesus. Do I have to get out to do that? Oh, I didn't bring one. Oh, Jesus. Let me out. I want to leave. I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied, I don't need you. I want to break free. God knows. God knows I've fallen in love. It's strange, but it's true. I can't get over the way I love you like I do. Singing it in the poshest accent I can. Horrified looks from Oliver in the room. But I have to be sure when I walk out that door. Is that even the word? I don't think so. I'm gonna literally die of no waterification. Because I can't break free of this area. Bam, 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 bam. I'm so fucked, it's unreal. Is there another way to get water? In this bloody game. Maybe I can land on top of this. Nope. He's fucked it. Not actually that deep, but I don't know how the fuck to get out.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
I don't know how. I'm always asking. I don't care about this game. I've beaten the game. It doesn't. I don't care anymore. Can I just drink a bladder fish without transforming it? You can eat gel sacks? I've got one.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oh, it does nothing. There's some at the bottom of this, though. Pretty sure I saw some.
Local scans show a nearby opening, leading to a biome with extensive fossilized remains.
Yeah, that's great. Kyrie, imagine.
Seek fluid intake
I mean,
immediately.
Kyrie is legendary, to be honest. I'd like to know more about Kyrie because they smash it out the park with the table story theories on just about every show. They... They're always good with the backseat gaming, but not annoying with it, and know when to appropriately do it. But people like that, you know, people with what we call in the industry a brain, they ain't spending their time watching Twitch. Which means one of two things. Kyrie is physically disabled in some way. Like she's sort of just stuck watching this fucking shit all day. Or does some sort of high-paying job, and works from home somehow doing it. Or I think I said one of two things, but now we know that I meant three. Is a child and is in school, you know. Which of the three is it, Kyrie? Could be really old as well. Could be like 58. Or the secret third thing. Yeah, those two third things. The third... It could be 1, 2, 3, or the secret third one. Could be option 1, option 2, option 3, or the secret third one. Lily's day drinking. Lily's right up there in the category that I'm in, which is brain dead. These gel sacks ain't doing it for me, bruv. By the time I find a new one, I've used the one bit of gel sack that I had. I'm fucked. There is not enough of them. You said one of two things. I know, and then I said there was a third. Lily's day drinking, dude. Just day drinking. Skål! Give me that. Is there a way to like pay bits to just fill my fluid intake or give me drinks? I'll pay it myself because I don't want to die.
Vital signs stabilizing.
You need that still suit. Don't know what that means. There's a suit that means you get drink. Oh Christ. Fenton! I don't want to go down there. Although I sort of feel like I recognise this area. I feel like maybe I came down here for magnetite or something a lot. I remember magnetite being an annoying thing to collect. Oh, you've done it! There is one. Early breakfast. Okay, let's try and get out. Let's not... I was about to squander it and jump straight off that ledge. Step back from that ledge, my friend. Step back from that ledge. How do I get out of here? Probably this way, right? me trying to get in the fridge, but I'm too drunk to open the door. Father coming home from the pub, trying to get another beer out of the fridge, but he's too drunk. He just finds the nearest thing to punch. Which was often me. The still soup recycles your water. Alright. There is, but I can't buy any. What the living fuck just happened to me? You little bastard! Fuck off! Right, can we ban Gabriel? If he's not going to give bits, then there's no point in him being here, is there? Oh, sorry, for a second I thought this was the Lollip stream. My apologies, everyone. I got a little confused for a second. This has to be the way out, right? Yeah, I feel like I did. I used to go in there a lot. I feel like this... I recognise this area. Got to get up this hill here, maybe. Yeah. I know where I am. Oh, so weird, man, when those memories come back to you. This is how I imagine it feels. You know, like, sometimes you'll watch media with, like, someone who has, like, amnesia or something, and they get, like, their memories come back to them. But not in the way that... Because I've had it in therapy, where a therapist has, like, unlocked a memory in me, but... It doesn't feel like you're unlocking a fucking MP4 in your brain that was behind a hidden folder. It just feels like a lot of emotions and feelings that come rushing back that are sort of attached to a part of your life or a memory. But in TV shows, they literally unlock a video file, right? And it plays in their heads and shit. That is what is happening to me in this game every now and then. My brain is literally unlocking pathways and areas in the game as I get to them. Like, oh yeah, this way means I just go this way out and then I go do a right and climb up this mountain and I'm over. I think I used to go in there a lot. Something, there must be a resource in there. Resources are kind of weird now though, because I've got like lots of end game resources already because of the fill junk pocket thing. Phil Junk Pocket. Hello everyone, my name's Phil. Phil Junk Pocket. This is Storage Wars. God knows I want to break free. Sorry. Just wanted to jump scare you all. Phil says they need to bring back Junkyard Wars. Phil, you were the one I was talking about. Oh look, you're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Honey, the one that I want. You are the one I want. The one I need. Oh yes indeed. Don't need that. Don't need that. Sea moth. This is trash. There's nothing in here at all. in the living fuck is that you've done? What have you done? There's really nothing in here at all? Wow, what the fuck? Propulsion cannon fragment. Oh, waste of my fucking time. Need the sea moth fragments. It's all I need. It's all I want. It's all I want.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, let's go back just so I can take a breather. A complete waste of time. We did nothing on that excursion. Hang on. Somewhere around here is that like big bit of wreckage. Like not necessarily around here exactly, but somewhere on the entire map.
Really doing a great job today of streamer commentating and talking about the game, Brad. Really enjoying the stream.
Thanks, guys. So I have polished off the Masked Singer. I honestly believe it's contributing to my headaches at this point. It's the weirdest show. I'm near the end of the last season of the UK one, right? And as I was like, oh, finally, I don't need to watch any more of it. What did mine eye spy? I'll tell you what it spied. The Masked Dancer. And now I have to watch it. Can't imagine anything more boring, by the way. Don't care about dancing anywhere near as much as I do about singing. I'm gonna watch it. Because I only watch the worst TV. Or I will have a mental breakdown. Dealer's choice. Worst TV ever or mental breakdown, you pick. Did he not want the Seamoth fragments? It's the worst comment of the day. Was there some back there? I didn't see him. I don't know what I'm looking for either. You know why? Because I don't have 45,000 hours in the game like you fucking professional, one of the developers. Oh, I guess he didn't want the Seamoth fragments that were hidden underneath the sand inside the area that he was just in, but he didn't know they were there because he doesn't know everything that I know in the game, and I know everything in the game because I'm an expert of the game. Oh, I suppose you didn't want them. Oh. I know everything that there is in the video game. I'm a special little fairy, a special little boy. Oh, I'm such a special little princess. Well, good for you. All right? Great. Really happy for you, okay? You're a special little princess. Okay, aren't we all so impressed that you've got 45,000 hours in the game? Where are they?
You say your mental focus is
terrible. My mental focus is fucked. I have no medical things. I think there might be some in this little thing here. Yes, indeed. They were the big broken up ship parts on the floor. Okay, well, you know when that information would have been useful instead of being a fucking piece of shit and going and waiting for me to swim miles away from it and then putting a little passive aggressive message in the chat room. You know what you could have done instead? Have a guess. Go on. Take a wild fucking guess when that information would have been useful instead of a passive aggressive comment 10 minutes after I've left the area. Are you kidding? I just healed myself, you knobhead. Fuck off. I guess we go back over there. Let me just take all this stuff out. Oh. Precisely what I wanted to do. Obviously. Did he mean to jump in the water there? I don't think he meant to jump in the water there. You know, we can all do it, by the way. We can all do it. Hi, Keeper. I wasn't trying to be passive-aggressive, sorry. I'm autistic and not very good at communicating. Oh, I know. Don't you worry about that. I know exactly what's going on with all of you. I know what's happening every time. And it's not an excuse. You feel like it's a good excuse, but it's a terrible one. Okay? If it helps. I'm also probably autistic and terrible at communicating. I'm definitely the latter. Okay. Let's put these things in here. Let's take that with me. Where did I put all the Weetabix? Somewhere around here. Somewhere over the rainbow, Oliver Fist. I'll take another one. One of us. One of us. Listen. It's nothing to be proud of, okay? Okay. Alright. It's nothing to be proud of.
What? Being autistic?
No. Being a singer. Being a great singer. Now I have no idea where I came from, but I think it was that way. I think it's like in this direction. Ah! Stop doing that! Oh god, now it lives outside my house. Jesus, is it fucking chasing me? I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue. Who? That person in the chat is on Spectrum. And Bradley's getting confused. Oh. We've been in this? It's just miscommunication between two idiots. And with all this terrible communication, disasters in the air. I am curious about, like, what is it about a Twitch chat room that is moths to a flame for people on Spectrum? This isn't me. I'm not ripping the piss out of anyone.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
It is. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. I don't know if there's CMOF parts here, but I remember that this being a thing to look for. But yeah, man. I mean, there is in every Twitch chat, there is a higher percentage of people autistic on spectrum, you know, Asperger's, some element here, than I think the ratio would be any other crowd of people just randomly gathered somewhere. Why? What is it about a Twitch chat? Because everything's just words? No need for eye contact and having to talk to people directly and see them looking at you? Because in any given day, I swear to God, most people in this chat room are autistic on spectrum, right? Like loads of you guys. Which sometimes makes for hilarious results. And sometimes is just an absolute shit show of miscommunication. You know? Is it just the masking element? I guess also you don't have to go outside, right? Like it doesn't, you don't have like that sort of anxiety that comes with... Why can I not fucking get through here? Oh, so angry. I suppose you can just disengage as well from a conversation immediately. What is happening? It doesn't want... Is there a fucking fake wall here? Most annoying thing ever. Don't need the propulsion cannon. This is basically dead north of the camp. That way's where we came from. Fake wall, yeah. There is one, isn't there? I don't know how to get in there. I'm not that bothered right now. I'm looking for CMOF parts. This is where Alaris Dragon is like,
Why did he not scan the CMOF parts that were right clearly there on the ground? Why hasn't he memorized every single utility asset in the video game into his incredibly massive and impressive photogenic memory, like mine?
Integrating new PDA data.
the possibility to opt out of the conversation. I mean, I do that for non-autistic reasons. I just hate everyone. And you get to just go like this. And you're out. And no one needs to know. And no one needs to know. This is it, isn't it? This is what I was looking for. And I still haven't found. Forklift truck right there. They still use those in the future then. With all this fucking technology. Right, not a Seamoth part. Not a Seamoth part. Maybe this isn't the same one. Yeah, it's not, is it? Seamoth fragment. BAM! It is done.
New blueprint acquired.
Seamoth. Requires... Oh, how do you make a power cell? Can I not make him yet? There it is. Okay, I think we're good. We can probably make all this. Seamoth is the best way to get around, isn't it? When I get the upgrades for this, what I want is the web slinging ability. The upgrades in the prawn make it much more viable. But the Seamoth is like a little taxi cab. Bitsky, thank you so much for the 41-month resubscription, my friend. Welcome in. Welcome to a chat room exclusively designed to be comfortable for people on Spectrum while I sit endlessly confused by what the fuck is going on. And all of you laugh at me. Are you going to build the Cyclops? I mean, one thing at a time, okay? Fucking chill. Haven't even built the fucking Seamoth. Are you going to build the rocket that ends the game? Braid? Hey, Braid? Are you going to build the rocket that ends the game when you take off in the rocket that ends the game?
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Fucking chill. Hey, Daddy, chill. Are you going to get back into the prawn? Can you feel the love tonight between the Chad and Brad? The world as one in perfect harmony. The stream as one. In perfect harmony. They all understand each other and communicate perfectly well. Does this charge the power cell? Yes. Brad, are you going to go swimming in the game again? A child. A child in the doorway wearing a diaper. Hey, Brad, are you going to... You remember when you'd be like, and I don't know if this still happens because I don't go out in public places anymore. But I would be on trains and on buses and stuff. And I'd be playing my PSP. Sometimes I'd just be playing games on my phone. But I played my PSP a lot. I'd travel around a lot at that period in my life. and a kid would always walk up in the aisle. I'd have music blaring, and I'd hear like, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Huh? What games do you have on your PlayStation? Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to talk to this child. I hate children. Get it away from me. And I'd look over and its mum would be there like, you know, mums give you that dopey look like, I just love everything that my kid's doing. Oh, it's so adorable what my kid is doing. Ah, to you. To me, I feel like the fucking parasites in this game are on me. Get it away from me. I fucking hate children. Get it away from me. What? Can I play on your... Can I play it? No. No, you fucking can't. You're gonna fuck up my whole save. It's taken me absolutely ages to get to this point in the game. And the mum will be sitting there with that dopey look on their face. Fuck off. And you feel obliged now to talk to the child and let it play on the PSP. And kids' fucking hands and mouths are disgusting. They always have chocolate and spit all around their mouth and shit, drooling in that. And it's touching my PSP now. Oh, the worst, man. My least favourite thing that ever happens. Because you have to be like, yeah, here you go. Have a quick go of it. Let me just save the game and put on a different game for you to play. There you go. Okay, we're done doing the game. That's you lot. Every day. You give off the same energy. You know that, right? You feel good about that? Okay, well, sort it out then. Touching PP, then PSP. Alright. First of all, right. Let's not talk about touching PPs when we're talking about children. Okay? Do I have to teach each and every single one of you any social skills? Come on. I know it's hard for you to grasp. I get it. I know what it's like to be autistic on spectrum. You're like an alien. You're like an alien and you're having to sort of fit your brain, the way that your brain is wired. Most, most socially sort of social etiquette norms are just osmosed as you grow up and look at and you go, oh, that's what they're doing, I'll do that. That's what they're doing, I'll do that. And when you're autistic on spectrum, you don't have that wiring in, so you have to like manually learn it and manually apply it. It's like being an alien and just learning how to be human from birth. It's a nightmare. I get it, I understand, but let's just write this one down together, shall we? When speaking about children, we don't talk about our penises. Alright? Write that one down. That's lesson 1. I got your back. But my god. I'm an ally here, but my god. Okay? The struggle! Alright, we need titanium ingots and glass. Now, glass I made by accident earlier on, so that's around here somewhere. Glass. Wait, glass. Fuck, I made enameled glass? That's a plasteel ingot. Whoever spawned that whale in the other day, I hate them. And then lubricant. Oh no, I don't think I got any other. Does that make one lubricant? Come on. Yes. Brad rants with a whale in the background. Scratch it in your arm if you have to. That whale noise is Lily's groaning at the fucking... at me having to run whatever this fucking daycare. Instead of me being able to just play video games and enjoy them with a group of peers, I honestly feel like I'm running a daycare a lot of the time. Oh, What I wanted to do, exactly what I wanted to do.
Pack it up, pack it in.
Make me a sea moth.
Is a fast, safe mode of transport, but remember that swimming is good for your glutes and endorphin levels.
Listen, I don't need good glutes, alright? I'm a fat, divorced old man. Relentlessly bullying autistic people. As a day job, okay? The last thing I bloody need is glutes. The sea moth! Now, do I need to build another moon pool to store it in? I love the fucking sea moth. Let's fucking go. The sea moth! I have no anxiety about bullying you people anymore. You brought it upon yourselves. At this point, I don't give a fuck if you're autistic, or you're just an asshole, or you're schizoaffective. Those are the three people. Those are the only three types of people in this chat room. Schizoaffective, autistic, or arsehole is the real game we should play. Pick one. You're one of them. I know it. It's a perfect split as well, somehow. It's not like it's just one or two, just for like the memes. It's literally that is the dead 33% split. You all get bullied equally. You all get treated equally here. And that's it. I have no anxiety about it. I used to sometimes end streams and be like, oh, I feel a bit bad, you know, that guy was just maybe a little bit on spectrum. And now I'm like, no. No. I will eat my dinner and this whole thing will be over. And then it will start again tomorrow. Let's make another moon pool, huh? Let's make another moon pool. Fuck off! What the fucking fuck is that? I feel like I'm half autistic, half arsehole. Our survey says...
Ass.
100% arsehole. I mean, yeah, you're one of the three or a combination. That's it. Something about this stream really appeals to people who are autistic on spectrum or schizoaffective. I don't know what. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I am a prick. And I think you get what you're given. Which is quite nice, I would imagine, if you are a little autistic. Because I sort of just say what I mean, and most people are fucking bullshit artists that are lying to your face all day. That is, and I mean it, most people. A lot of them don't know they're doing it, but most people are doing that. And at least with me, you don't have to worry about that, because whether you like it or not, I'm only going to be authentically myself, you know what I mean? I'm only going to say what I want to say. And then that's the end. I'm not just fucking bullshitting you. I'm not lying to you. And you sort of just get what you're given at face value. Now, a lot of the time that's me telling you you're a prick. But at least it's the truth. And I would imagine that that might be nice. Because I would presume going through life, a little autistic on spectrum, a little... It's got to be confusing because people would just be like, oh my god, I love your shirt. And then they fucking go away and they're like, her shirt is so fucking ugly. And you're like, huh? Huh? Input data was incorrect. Why did they input the wrong data into my computer brain? The input didn't match the truth. The quantitative data was incorrect. What the fuck? That has to be so confusing. You know what I mean? The rest of us are just like, oh, everyone lies to everyone. That's what everyone does. Everyone just lies to everyone all day long because everyone's a prick. And even we just live our lives that way. That's just how we get about. That's how everyone gets through life. It's just like slowly, just like little white lies to each other. Everything's gonna be just fine. You know? Little shit like that. It ain't gonna be fine. The world's ending. It's fucking horrific. It's terrifying. And everyone's like sugarcoating everything just to get through. And it's really just... It's just a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit out there. And a lot of people sort of covering, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Thanks so much. But really, they're dying inside. You know what I mean? And I think that one of the things that I do is that I relentlessly don't do that. To my detriment, you know. A lot of people don't like me. And a lot of people just don't understand me. Including like people in my own family and shit, you know what I mean? I've been like this forever. It's not like the internet has made me this way. For the most part, I'm pretty just like truthful. I've become more open as I've gotten older. But I would say I've always been the same sort of realistic. I've been a realist and I've been pretty honest and truthful with like normal social shit, which makes me look autistic as fuck from the outside. But really it's just that I don't give a fuck. I'm so I feel like I was born and then I had the Matrix slapped out of me and I've just lived outside of the Matrix. You know, I know that the fucking Matrix is telling me this steak is delicious and moist and, you know, tastes whatever. But I've always known that it's the fucking Matrix that's making the steak. So, you know, but everyone else can't stand it when you're telling the truth. If you tell the truth in a situation, you know, like, if you look through the Matrix and you're like, you're bullshitting me, you don't feel good. They hate it. Because that's not how you get through. That's not society. There are tribal rules that you have to apply to the world. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe that is what appeals to people, maybe, that are a little on spectrum, maybe, or a little autistic, might be like, oh, you know, at least he's sort of like... I honestly think most people come in here and they're like, oh, he's autistic like me. And then you see me display the absolute worst aptitude. The least... I will use the least level of proficiency to progress through a level, and I can't remember anything. And you're like, oh, no, he's not. He's just an asshole, and he's stupid. But it's confusing, right? You're like, huh? Doesn't compute. That makes sense to me, though. The one that doesn't make sense to me is how many people with schizophrenia fucking love me. That one I don't get. Because I know an okay amount about autism. I've got autistic family members. I was brought up with my mum. My mum worked in a care home where there were lots of people with like extreme autism, like full non-verbal, you know, non-communicative, just unable to just sort of progress in any way and really be in society, along with like people with like Down syndrome and stuff. So I kind of like was around it when I was young, so I sort of get it and I understand it. Schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorders. I don't know what it is, man, but they're like moths to a flame to me, and it's been like it my whole life. There've been other people I've met in my life that have had, and you know, when I think back with hindsight, I sort of recognize as well that there were other people, even amongst the ones that I recognize, that they just love me. I don't know what that is. And I spoke to my mum about this. This is so random to say, but I spoke to me and my mum were having a conversation like this, and she was like, yeah, me too. My whole life. So it's I don't know if it's a personality trait that I've caught from my mum, or it's like in my blood, you know? But there's something about people with schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder that we're drawn... I mean, how many people are in this chat room? Probably right now, but you know, there's a few people, we can name some names. Obviously, I'm not gonna just start picking people out and everything, but dude, What's that all about? What the fuck is going on out there? It's such a bizarre pattern that has emerged that I've recognized, that people just fucking love me. If you're schizoaffective, you're gonna fall in love with me and then slowly become obsessed with me to the point where I have to start living in a sort of slight state of fear. It's the most bizarre thing. One of the strangest. I think that. Oh, fuck, we're gonna get more. And then arseholes are just drawn to me because I'm an arsehole, you know. What I am is not an arsehole deep down. I think I'm a nice guy, to be honest. I think I'm a pretty nice guy, and I think I'm a pretty decent guy. Really, you know, underneath my own masking and underneath my own sort of internet persona and you know, all of that kind of memes and stuff. I think I'm an okay guy. I don't think I'm like a fucking great guy. I don't think I'm the nicest guy in the world or anything like that. That's Dave. Dave by Dave is 100% the trophy winner there. But when it comes to like social norms and stuff, I just don't observe them. I've no interest in them. It's a set of rules that were made up by a bunch of people that died fucking 1,000 years ago. And we've just sort of all fallen into this way of living, you know? Like, it's the same thing as we've been breaking down with a lot of like gender norms and like political structures and shit. You know, like we're recognizing now that none of that shit is real. It's just a bunch of social what is the word I'm looking for? Social structured things that we made up. And they're really hard to like, we're all basically in a cult. We're all basically in a cult of like social constructs, yeah. Where we've all been told this is like the way to live, right? As soon as you're outside of any of those social norms for whatever reason, it could be any social thing, it could be a mental thing, it could be a mental health thing, you know, as soon as you're outside of them, they start to look a little silly and you start to recognize that they're not real. Some of them are there for good reason and some of them are not, and that's where it gets quite hard, is like pulling which of these social constructs and social norms are useful and are in good place. You know, like don't murder people. Yeah. You know? But like girls wear pink and shit like that. We gotta pull that shit apart. But you know, you'll speak to your nan and your nan will be like, why have you dressed her in blue? Yeah, a 2-year-old. And you're like, because who cares? You know? That kind of thing. But I've never really observed them. I've never been bothered by them. Like, there are some, like, obviously, please don't rob me. Please don't just attack people in the street. You know, there's definitely some that makes sense. You know what? I think I'm going to seam off it. But because I've never observed those things, people who live inside them for their own safety, like they can't handle being outside of them, like normies basically, just literally cannot survive outside of those. If you sort of like even slightly mess with their sort of basic standard structure. Where is the seam off? Does it not have a beacon? No. Is it destroyed? Where the fuck is it? Ow! Fine, I'll just take the prawn.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, because I don't observe those social structures and that social conformity, and I pretty much never have, and it is pretty much, for me, it pretty much comes from a place of like part mental health issues and part just authority problem. I have a massive authority problem. I always have. I really just am not a fan of any authority, really, you become immediately rejected. But you also get branded as like an asshole. You get branded as like a piece of shit, you know, like, I don't know, like all those kinds of things. And, you know, eventually you just, like, the part of my brain that does conform to those social norms brands myself as an asshole for that reason, you know? Because I am. Because, according to the rules, I am. You know, that's the point of the definition. Just an incorrect one, you know? It'd be like if I was trans and I had transitioned to male and I was maybe born biologically female or whatever. If you just kept calling me a girl, and if I referred to myself as a girl, that is the type of asshole I am. That is how fast it is. But I think it's also why people who are maybe a little on spectrum think I am as well. I mean, maybe I am. I genuinely don't know. I don't think so. I think I just have a lot of crossover stuff because of OCD in particular. I think my OCD is very autistic coded. But then there's just like, there's a lot of stuff like I think I'm a little bit too good at reading people and understanding all those social things and stuff. It's got destroyed. When did it get destroyed? Oh, I'm pissed. I didn't even get to use it. Let me make the moon pool first then. And then I'll make another one. Everyone's a little bit on the spectrum. Well, that's not true. That's just a weird... That's exactly the type of thing that I think gets us all in trouble. When you sort of just say something like that. You're sort of like... You're sort of reducing the autistic experience by trying to sort of familiarize yourself and make yourself seem more approachable and familiar, when really, it doesn't. You can define yourself as autistic. That's just who you are. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It's like saying you've got brown hair. It's just a descriptor of who you are. It might help people to understand what's going on with you. You know what I mean? Like if I was schizoaffective and I was like, I'm having an episode, guys. I think Jesus Christ is crawling through the desk. You know, people are, you know, if I go, I have, by the way, I have schizophrenia. I have schizoaffective disorder. Then people will go, oh, okay, I get it now. It helps you to frame people. I think the one thing that people need to do is just start accepting that people are just people. And they are who they are. It doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter if you're a complete fucking maniac who's out there. You're just a sociopath, a psychopath killing people. That's who you are. You know? That's who you are. It doesn't matter. There shouldn't be any stigma around any of it. I think there is because, again, people, if you're not within the tribe and you're not conforming to all of these social norms, which is social etiquette, which you're just never going to get if you're autistic, because social cues are so difficult to grasp a lot of the time. And obviously, you will eventually get there to the point where you're masking and surviving, but it's still masking, right? You're not sort of being able to comfortably be yourself exactly in most social situations. But like all that, you're just whoever you are. That's it. You know? Whether those things equate to you being a complete fucking prick in other people's eyes, whether they equate to you objectively being a prick, whether they equate to you being a fucking serial killer, whether they mean that all you do is eat fucking chicken nuggets and chips and sit on your iPad and you can't face going outside, that's just who you are. Whether it means you kiss boys or you kiss girls or you kiss both, you don't kiss any. You know? You're just you. And then other people, the problem is that most people are conforming to another set of rules. They're not even being themselves. There's a set of rules that they're forcing themselves to colour within the lines of, to try and stay within their little tribe, to stay within the accepted boundaries. But really, a lot of them go home and they do weird shit that they don't tell their friends. You know what I mean? A lot of them are like living with anxiety, or they're living these, like, they're depressed because they're living these lives that are not really quite who they are. They're almost masking themselves, but they're doing it in a sense of fear to not be rejected from the sort of tribal mentality of social norms. And so those people will brand you as one thing, or because you're slightly different from the norm, they'll, like, you know, they'll smirk or snicker and laugh at you, or, you know, especially when you're growing up and stuff. But ultimately, I think the best thing that we can do, and the best way to look at it, is just like when you meet someone and you sort of get the sense that they're actually being themselves, that's who they are. You don't have to vibe with them, you don't have to like them, you don't have to think you don't even really have to form an opinion, but whatever opinion you form is whatever opinion you form with them. But they are just who they are, and I think that that is the best way to think about it. You know, if you don't have, like, obviously there are people that you'll be able to relate to as well. If you've got the exact same brand of autism as another person that you meet and you're like, yes, that, you know. Same thing with me, anxiety. I meet someone with the same brand of anxiety as I have. Like me and Dave are really similar with it. It's like, oh, that dude, it's fucking killing me. That kind of thing. That's nice too. But the best thing I think that we can do is just go, okay, that's that person, you know? Yeah, they're autistic. Yeah, they're gay. Yeah, they're this. But that's just who they are. And that's it. We don't need to generalize. We don't need to bring ourselves over and say, like, you know, oh, this is what I have, you know, oh, we're all a little like, no, we're not. That's just what they're like. And I'm like this, and you're like that. I mean, most people, all those other people, the annoying ones, who just can't live outside that box, can't colour slightly outside the lines. They're the problem, really. Because they're just, I think they're scared. I see a bunch of scared people. Fuck, I need to make some glass, don't I? God damn it. Yeah, it annoys me, man. No, I want to make a moon pool. I want to make a moon pool first. You guys are distracting me. I need lead. Yeah. And there are extremes to it as well. I feel like those, like, religious towns. You know those, like, religious towns in America? Those are the ones that scare me. Those places. You see the person. If you're gay and you're brought up in that community, no one in that community is even allowed to speak to you anymore, right? That, I think, is one of the scariest things. Damn, you actually got far enough to build storage and shit without being annihilated by chat. Yeah, kind of. Can I not build it here? They've destroyed a lot of my stuff, but they've also saved me a couple of times, bits, so, you know, swings and roundabouts and all that. When you have both, it can be hard to tell what is OCD and what is from being on spectrum. Oh yeah, dude, I bet that's an absolute nightmare. Yeah. The OCD and being on... Yeah, the OCD stuff... Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I cannot imagine how frustrating it would feel. Because I know how it feels to have a lot of the extreme OCD side of things. And then when you couple that with anxiety, it's pretty fucking brutal. Please don't hurt me. Please. The hull. Oh, fuck. How do I reinforce the hull? I forget. Reinforcement. Lithium. No point in me fixing everything till I reinforce it, is there? Do I have lithium? It looks like lead. Shit, man. Some of you in the chat need some bloody lithium. Isn't that what they used to use to cure... Is that enough? You little bastard. I lived in the UK and USA. It's harder to strike up random conversations in the UK. I don't know what bearing that has on the conversation we were having, but 100% that's true. Northern England, they're a lot more friendly when it comes to just sort of striking up random conversations. If you're in the north of England, you can kind of walk along and people will say hello to you and stuff. But also, the people from Northern England are far more dangerous because they're all feral.
Hull integrity restored.
To translate that to
Training
American,
systems initiated.
our north is your south. It's the same thing. Like the people are kind of more like friendly in a sort of chatty, jovial way. In just like walking along, people will just be like, hello, and you're like, oh, hi. No one does that in the south of England. If someone walked along, if I was walking along my street and someone said hello to me, I genuinely believe that I was about to be robbed, like I was in fucking Wild RP. Or you get attacked or murdered. There was a gay man that was murdered in town that I grew up in, and that, yeah, I mean, that's horrible. There is definitely places in the UK that still do that as well, though. Tetanus shot before you talk to a northerner, get the wrong one, it's game over. That's the gamble, though, isn't it? In the north of England, is that you guys are fucking feral. You're all Neanderthals. You're absolute Neanderthals. But you're more... I do think you're more sort of like... If you're not immediately being killed by a northerner, you're going to have a nice time. You're going to have a really nice time. They're going to bring you in. They're going to make you dinner. They're going to give you somewhere nice to stay. They're going to take you to the best places in town. They're going to be friendly. But the chances of that happening hinge on a sort of crapshoot of whether they're just going to beat the fuck out of you and rob you. You know, because you said something wrong, or you got there with my accent, and it's just over. How do you survive the first night then? Well, you just sort of, you have to hope. It's just pure hope. You know, it's just RNG. Absolute RNG. Oh yeah, I was going to make a sea moth again. I already made one. I'll make another one. I need more titanium, glass, lubricant, lead, a power cell. What was a power cell? It was silicon and a battery, wasn't it? I should be able to just bang that out. No? Oh, it wasn't a silicon and a battery. 2 batteries? Fuck, man. Alright. Battery, I just... Jesus Christ. Stuck on a lathe.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Wild RP is the north, yeah. They're still there. In fact, Wild RP is set in 1903. I honestly think that that Northern England is still before then. It's probably in the 1800s. So if you show up in a car, they like lose their minds. They don't know what the fuck is happening. They're like the Flintstones. Made a battery. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Power cell. There we go. I went to the north with a lighter once, and they went fucking crazy, dude. I went like that. And it made a flame, and they went... They went fucking nuts. Couldn't believe it. I introduced them to fire. In Manchester. Random random battles in Final Fantasy is what it's like walking around, yeah. When I was walking around Leeds, that's what it was like. How far north do you have to go until it's basically Scotland? Well, Scotland's its own country, and there is a significant difference between the north of England and Scotland. You'd think that they just sort of blend together, but they sort of don't. Like, what's the most one of the most northern cities? Like Newcastle? Map of UK. With cities, please. So Scotland is like there, isn't it? Like there's the line. There's Newcastle. Newcastle is fucking terrifying. Newcastle is nuts. The people there, like, genuinely are the missing link. You just got, you know, everyone's like, hey, that's weird because between, like, we had these sort of like the Cro-Magnon man, the Cro-Magnon man, and then there's sort of like Neanderthals, and then there's sort of like a missing link, and then there's like Homo sapiens, like what we are now. Go to Newcastle, you found it. You found it. Those people are something else. Yeah, Dumfries is Scotland. There's Glasgow, there's Edinburgh. Now Glasgow is... The thing with Scotland that's weird is like once you go past Newcastle, you'll cross into Scotland and it resets in a way. It resets whatever the fuck is going on in northern England. I assume because Scotland is its own country. And for a lot of the time, Scotland and England were at war, right? So the Scottish accent is different to the English, the insane amount of English accents that we have, because we were constantly being invaded by different places in Europe, like France and Germany and stuff. So it was making just like endless different accents, and like the Vikings were coming over and the Anglo-Saxons and stuff, and everything was going fucking nuts. So they were making just crazy accents all over the place because it's a mix of lots of different places in Europe. Whereas Scotland remained was the Picts that came. A lot of them were sort of Irish, right? And there was some Irish and Scottish blending, but they were pretty much able to stay, because Scotland's baller as fuck. The history of Scotland, they were pretty strong. Like, we couldn't defeat them, right? I don't know if we ever did fully. I can't remember the history. I didn't go to school. But Scotland were really hard for us to conquer. So they didn't get as much of that blending, and also any other people invading them just couldn't, because Scottish people are fucking double hard, mate. They'll fuck you up. And I think that when you look at culturally the difference between Northern England, Southern England, and Scotland, you do go, once you cross that border, there's a reset. It gets increasingly more horrific. I love the sounds of this game in the background. It gets increasingly more horrific the further north you go. Now, this is coming from the perspective of a little London boy. I'm a city kid. I'm from here, the south side of the Thames in London, and this is Kent, which I know pretty well as well. I now live down here in Brighton. This area is pretty soft. You know, people here they've got a bit of money. Most people are kind of, you know, most people in England are the same person. They're all just like football fans who watch, you know, Saturday Night Takeaway with Van and Dijk and, you know, shit like that. And everyone's a prick. But like, yeah, they're pretty soft. And the accent's pretty much what mine is now. You come up here, this is soft as well, but Essex is kind of its own weird little place. People from Essex, I don't know what it is about people from Essex, they just need attention. All of our famous people are from Essex. I don't understand what it is about Essex that they are all so like, they need attention so badly. It's crazy. They all, but generally speaking, they're about the same as people from London and Kent, but with like this need for attention more. I don't know what that is. Over here, Norwich and Ipswich is just inbred as fuck. No one goes there. You don't go there. And if you do, that is, you know, in the Wild RP map, that's Butcher's Creek. I don't know what the fuck happened here. But, and they're, this isn't me like attacking them or anything. People from Norwich will openly admit how inbred they are. I'm inbred. I'm allowed to say it. Over here is pretty chill. So this is kind of like a beach area. This is our beach. The people down here, man, like the Bath is quite a nice place. Plymouth's quite a nice place. Cornwall is a lot of like farms and Devon and stuff down here. These are all farmers and they're all quite nice people. Hagrid is from this area of the world in that fucking film, right? This is Wales and everyone from Wales. Wales is Canada. That's it. Wales is our Canada. The way that you Americans think of Canadians is how we think of people from Wales. They're all nice. They're all friendly. They're all normal. That's about it. Now, here's where things start to get a bit wobbly. You start entering into the Midlands up here, and people start to change. People start moving. They're a little more bent over, you know, and the frequency of how many of them have an extra finger or toe starts to rise. For the most part, people in the Midlands are quite nice as well, though. They're sort of, it's pretty similar. I assume it's Wales that has done this to them. But they are, generally, people from the Midlands are quite sort of friendly and normal people. And aren't regarded, in general society, Kipling's like this. Actually, I met a really rude man. From where... Yeah, there's going to be different people in the world, Kipling. I'm talking about generally perceived from people from London, me. So... But like they start to shift and change as you're driving up the fucking M1. They will shift and change. Here is where you start to see it noticeably. You get to Birmingham and suddenly, for some reason, you will drive and drive into Birmingham. Everyone's pretty normal. You're like, that guy was a bit weird. Did that guy have an extra eyelid? What the fuck was that? That was kind of... You walk into Birmingham and it is horrific. You know Peaky Blinders? That's set modern day Birmingham. That's set in 2023 Birmingham. It's a fucking disaster zone. It's like wandering into Belgrade. It's fucking insane. Everyone there is terrifying, and they all talk like that. They've got the worst accent on the planet. Birmingham, once you're over here, whatever happened between Birmingham and Liverpool is madness. This area here is horrific. People from Birmingham and people from Liverpool and most of this area in between it, they are terrifying. Fully Neanderthal, like absolute Neanderthals. Like you could, honestly, if you showed up in a car, they would think it would be the equivalent as if someone flew into your garden right now in a UFO and landed it, and it Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's what happens if you drive into Liverpool in a fucking Vauxhall Corsa. They are on horses. They've still got bows and arrows, and it's tribal, and it's terrifying. And I highly recommend never going there. Okay? This side isn't as bad. Middlesbrough, Scarborough, York, you know, Sheffield, kinda, Nottingham, Leicester. This isn't that bad, ultimately. I would never go there and not have my guard up. But like these, that is compared to Liverpool and Birmingham and all the places in between, terrifying. Now the centre is where it starts to get a bit crazy, because Manchester, I feel like, is almost like our Texas. Like, it's almost as if Manchester is its own country. For some reason. They are so protective. If you go into Manchester and you're not from there, it's like, you know, in that game yesterday when he was banging on the door and he was like, "Show me your ID." That's what it's like. You almost have to roll up with an army. The people from Manchester they're less sort of like Neolithic than Liverpool, Birmingham, Newcastle. You know what I mean? They're not like these. They're not like when you wander into Liverpool, you'd think you've just spawned into a new game of Rust. But Manchester, they're a little smarter than that. They're like aware. Look at this. How dare you? If you come to Manchester, I will challenge you to a duel. Yeah, this is exactly what. Look how fucking angry he is immediately. So how defensive and psychotic they are, dude, from Manchester. It is fucking weird. You'd think they had their own country and they treat everyone as an invader. They're like North Korea. But they're not human. They're not Homo sapien. They're in there with the missing link type people of Newcastle and Liverpool and Birmingham. But I would say that they are the forefront. They're not that stupid, really. They are terrifying, but they are militant and insane. And they're at war with each other. Like, the whole of Manchester is split into, like, 4 parts that is just gripped in a fucking, like, 400-year-old civil war. They're still going. It's just gang warfare in Manchester. It's bizarre. I think it's 4 parts of Manchester. I'm not sure. I've been there once. I promised I would never, ever go there again. I made a promise. Nothing would get me in there again. The place is fucking well scary, dude. Especially if you're a southerner. You go up there and they're just like, no way. But yeah, they're able to, they've got cars and guns and, clothing. They're not still tanning their own clothing. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, it's more of like a gang city, I feel like. I have friends who live near there and love the city. Yeah, well, of course they do. Because if you fucking say anything else, they'll literally hang you from the fucking... They'll crucify you and it'll be on the M1 as you drive into town. Like the old fucking world. But it isn't quite as, like... Yeah, Neolithic, right? And then we go north a bit more to this sort of area. Now, Carlisle, Darlington, and Middlesbrough aren't that bad, as far as I'm aware. You don't... I feel like most people that are sort of from those areas, they're a little like, I don't know if you belong around here types. It's a little bit like local. And you wander in and you're like, oh, they just brew their own beer. There's probably a few too many people that have maybe married, first cousins. Because they just have no concept. I would imagine if you're from fucking Carlisle, you have no concept that there is anywhere else. We're talking like, these people think the world is flat, but they think it's only Carlisle. They haven't got TVs and stuff. They don't know what the fuck is going on. But they're more like hobbits, I feel like. They're just kept to themselves in that bit of the world. They just sort of like keep to themselves and they have their little hobbit parties and marry their cousins and just carry on with their hairy feet. Then if you take the wrong turn into Newcastle, you're fucked. Newcastle's well scary, dude. South Shields and shit. They're all... It's a bit like Manchester. But they are significantly more Neanderthal. I genuinely think if you I honestly think, when you go and do those like 23andMe and stuff, and there's one that tells you what sort of like Neanderthal bloodline you come from or whatever. I honestly think if you did a 23andMe on almost anyone born in Newcastle, it would just come back 100% Neanderthal. They're just living with us. They're like Sasquatches and stuff up there, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. But they're like getting on with their days, They like go to work at the garage. They're working down the ironworks. They're like listening to music. They're watching The Masked Singer along with me. But technically, they are Cro-Magnon man. Every Northerner watching this is fucking seething right now. But then, this is the weird thing. This is the point I was getting to. Then you cross a line. Once you go over the border into Scotland, it resets. Like, it's bizarre. Because they're not like... They're nothing like Northern Englanders, really. Because Scotland is its own big Newcastle, its own big Liverpool, its own big Birmingham. Now, Scotland is not like London. There's no one in Scotland that feels like they're from London. But Edinburgh kind of is. I feel like Edinburgh feels like the most just sort of like, oh, I could be somewhere else in England, town, city. Any other city in England, some of the biggest cities in England. Or Wales. You know, it's pretty, everyone there's pretty normal. But you get outside of Edinburgh and start getting out into these weeds, dude. And I don't know what the fuck's going on. Legitimately, they're all bowling around in kilts with bagpipes, eating haggis and shit. And you're like, oh, you guys, you are still the meme of Scotland that everyone thinks you are. You know, you're like fucking Willy from The Simpsons. Is everyone in Scotland? It's fucking weird. They just love it. They love being Scottish. They love having red hair. They love playing the bagpipes. They love listening to people play back. They eat the weirdest shit. And that's what they are. And then yeah, some of these places get a little creepy and a little bit local, you know. Fuck knows what the people are like on these fucking islands up here. These fucking weird little islands. Where Gary's on one of them, and I think that's all you need to know. Gary's on one of those islands. And I think the last thing that I can say sort of about Scotland is Glasgow is legitimately like Somalia, basically. It's fucking crazy. It's like, you know, you hear those stories about fucking Burma. It's fucking mad, dude. You know in that fucking movie Rambo when they're in Burma and they're making them run across the field, you know? They're like shouting at them to run across the fucking minefield. That is happening actively in Glasgow daily. It's just a bunch of heroin addicts. And then you just take a bunch of heroin addict Somali pirates and let them rule their own city in the style of Burma. And that is Glasgow. They just give them Scottish accents to make it so much more confusing and terrifying. It is fucking weird, dude. It is like literally, I can't believe that they don't have like news stories about, you know, like these kinds of things. The things that happen in Glasgow, but they treat it like we treat like a third world country, or we treat these like sort of war-torn areas in the east. One of the most fucking horrific places on the fucking planet I've ever been to. Terrifying. Ireland I know nothing about since we're here. This is what I understand about Ireland. Northern Ireland is sort of like, from what I understand, is like one city just feels like any city in the world, just normal people doing their thing. Then you go from that city, you drive to the next city over, Belgrade. You drive to the next city, normal city. Drive to the next city over, Burma. And it's just terrifying. But it's more like organised terror. This area, the edges of the island are quite nice, right? Like pretty normal, but most of the people living on the edges of the island, these are all like normal towns and stuff. Like Dublin's like a big city that, you know, probably going to be like any other big city in the world. But the further inland you go, the more kind of like local it gets. People, like the boglands of Ireland is pretty mental apparently. They're all out there with like fucking string for belts. You know, they make their own shoes out of like out of cabbages and shit. And then down here, Cork, the people are really nice, right? Everyone that I've ever met that's from the very southern tip of Ireland is really nice. They just seem to be really nice. They're a bit like the Welsh. Most people I meet from Wales just have they're just nice. They're just kind of like nice people to be around. They're generally a little giving and generally quite soft-spoken and comfortable to sit around. And that's really all I know about Ireland. But I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like on the surface. So like, yeah, I mean, that is my understanding of the UK from a sort of like not very well travelled Londoner. But I've been around most of these places. And I've met people from everywhere on this map is the other thing. Because I lived and worked in London for so long. I've met absolutely everyone. And I based a lot of my opinions on those people. And then sort of like collate that information with other like people from there that I know from like TV and shit. But I honestly don't think I'm too far off. I think that's just what it's like. I think that I'm correct. I think my opinions on those places is correct. You know? All of these people that are from, like, people from Liverpool are fucking well scary. And if you say anything bad about Liverpool, they genuinely will drive to your house. Doesn't matter where you live. You could be in New Zealand. They will show up outside your house in a fucking Nova, screaming at you and trying to fight you. They're well scary. It's literally tribal. It's fucking weird. Newcastle, if you're near them and you say something bad about them, they'll kill you. Manchester is just, if you're in Manchester, there's a sort of 90% chance you're going to die that day. Sheffield's all right. People from Sheffield are the classic Yorkshire, but I feel like the people from Sheffield are not a good representation of like the true Yorkshire, like the farmers and stuff. And I got a good taste of Yorkshire because I went out with one for 10 years. And so I spent a lot of time in this fucking in the fucking goddamn middle of nowhere where her mum lived for a long time. And it is crazy. There's a place that had 11 houses just surrounded by farms. There were 11 houses in the whole village. I mean, it was Resident Evil Village, a farm version. It was fucking crazy. Forget it, you had a girlfriend. Jesus, you're so lucky that I'm a good friend, aren't you? I feel like you're really lucky that I'm a good friend right now. Wouldn't you say? I almost feel like I'm owed an apology for not doing what I could do. Anyway, she left me. That's the most insane behavior. I know. It's the most psychotic shit. I love it. That's my review of England. Rad's Roundup. Now, for the record, by the way, people from the north think that everyone from the south is just an absolute pussy. So that's the opinion from the other side of it, right? Like, but they just think that we are just pathetic, and they're kind of true. It's kind of true. Like, they literally. Have you seen that season of Baki Hanma where he has to fight a Neanderthal? They unfreeze a Neanderthal, and the whole time, like, the strongest fighters in the world are like, how is this guy so strong? And they're like, well, because he's been fighting nothing but dinosaurs. All he did his whole life was fight dinosaurs and survive. He had to defeat a T-Rex for dinner. That's how he got so strong. The world was different to him then. To just thaw him out in this era, he's built so differently. That's Northerners. And they can't comprehend why we're so pathetic. We're like these little fragile origami paper people to them. You know what I mean? But then also we're like, look at this. And they freak out, you know? They're like babies. You go like this, and they go, where did he go? Where did he? Because they're so, like, they, you know? That's the thing. We're Iron Man. And they're Captain America. You know, we have this fucking cool suit. because we got brains that we can apply to stuff. We've got a frontal lobe. You know, we can fucking build a fucking thing. We can build a house and live in it that has like central heating and shit. People from the north are like big and strong. They can build they build a fucking rock home like the first night in Minecraft. But they have no idea what the fire is. They don't know what the fuck is going on. You know, we're eating these nice meals that we've cooked up. And they're just biting into the kidney of a living fucking deer. So that's generally the perspective. But to equate it for most Americans, generally speaking, our north is your south. So all of the same sort of feelings around that is pretty close from what I'm able to gather. Now, what did I need to get? I wanted to build another Seamoth because they destroyed my other one. I just need lead and titanium and glass. Okay, well, we can do that. I'm gonna go and take out the since you've spawned in so many fucking creatures. Right, the Hulk without the yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's much. That is a better comparison. Iron Man versus the Hulk. Problem is the Hulk is so OP. I don't really want to give him the Hulk. Don't really want to give him the Hulk. The Hulk is like basically the strongest thing in the entire Marvel universe, you know. Pisses me off. Oliver's confused. Oliver just can't believe that the iPad is speaking and making noise. She doesn't know what the fuck it is. Oliver's been eating dinner off of the iPad for like 6 months and it just started playing a stream one day.
There is little man inside. Little man speaks to Oliver. Look, little man speaks of Oliver.
Oliver thinks that the little man inside the iPad is like one of the fates. Like one of the Nordic fates, you know?
It predicts. Look. Oliver, eat little man. Kill little man. Little man falls silent. Regret.
How was your civil war? We had nothing but civil wars, didn't we, though? That's all we had. It's called history. Try and get some, fucking loser. Aren't you like Polish or something if you go back far enough? You're not even English, right?
Sad little man gone. Oliver regret.
My dad's side is all a UK bundle. Oh, I thought you had like some Eastern European something in there. Guess not. I love the Polish. I've got nothing bad to say about it. I'll rip the piss out of the British, Northern, Southern, doesn't matter. We're all fucking annoying. The Irish, to my detriment, the most terrifying thing an English person can do, by the way. Rip the piss out of an Irishman. I got nothing bad to say about the Polish at all. Nothing. I love them. My favourite species. I still got a bunch of fucking Polish money. My drawer in the front row. Your mom is Russian, Lithuanian, Polish. Man, your mom's gotta be fucking she gotta be bang tidy, bruv. Mate, send me a picture of your mom. Find a picture of your mum in like 91. Send me it. Your mum's gonna be. Imagine that. That is a fucking. That is a devastating combo. Most attractive woman on the planet. Your dad must have been. I mean, what the fuck happened to you, dude? Men, innit? Dude, what happened in Eastern Europe is so bizarre. It's because of the war. It has to just be the fact that they've literally been at war since they existed. But like, you know, up until recently, women didn't go to war. And the only men that survived the wars were like the ugly, grotesque creatures that make up Eastern Europe now. There isn't. There has to be. There's got to be about 1% of men in Eastern Europe that are conventionally attractive physically. It's crazy. But then you go over there and the ugliest woman in all of Eastern Europe is a 10 in any other country. That's the ugliest. They're on a different scale. It is insane. The disparity between the two is madness. You know? It's one of the strangest gaps in physical attractiveness anywhere on the planet. My mum is certifiable. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, in terms of like what they're like, I don't know. We're just going on like pure, just weird physicality here, you know. I come from a country where every single person in the entire country is just a flat 5. That's it. It's just that is the entire scale.
Welcome aboard.
Everyone's a 5. Because America goes all over the place. America has some of the most fucking unbelievably beautiful people you will ever fucking see. And then you'll see something that looks like it literally just crawled out from under a rock in the deepest part of the ocean. It's mind-boggling. But it isn't like, it's not a disparity thing like you have with Eastern Europe. It's really strange. Is there any science on that? Because this isn't just me being a dickhead. That's genuinely just what it's like in Eastern Europe. It's the fucking strangest place. All of the women are stunning, and all the men are literally look like, you know, like Andy Serkis when he was dressed up as Smeagol. You know, not quite Gollum, but also not Andy. Andy Serkis isn't an unattractive man, but when they made him look like Smeagol when he was in one of those movies when he finds the ring under the water and kills his best friend, that's what the most attractive man in all of Eastern Europe looks like. I feel like I have to delete this VOD, by the way. Someone's gonna kill me after this. I'll never be able to leave London again. Everything I'm saying is sort of take with a pinch of salt. I'm just saying it for memes, but is a generalization for comedy's sake, based on sort of genuine opinions. I got a really bad headache, and I was having a bad day this morning. Okay, I woke up. I just had a shit show of a morning and I was not feeling good. Just let me have this. Please don't drag me into Liverpool on the back of a fucking horse and run me through the streets and hang draw quarter me or anything. For fuck's sake. What do I need again? For the Seamoth? These. All the Polish men in Manchester are coming. But the thing is, in terms of personality, Polish people, my favourite people. Yeah, all the men are dog shit ugly. Sorry, guys. I'm not saying that as the most attractive man on the planet here or anything. I came in second. But, my God, you know, what the hell happened to you guys? Oh my God, I need water. You're gonna fucking die. Jesus Christ. Bladderfish. Wo ist meine Bladderfish? There's one. But Polish people are lovely. I really like. everyone I've ever met that's Polish is one of my favorite people. It's bizarre. I genuinely think they're really nice. They're sort of no shits given people as well, though. I think maybe that's another thing I like about them, is that they're sort of like no shits given, a bit like me. They really just sort of like live in reality. Every single fucking person in Poland smokes like 40 a day. I think probably just because culturally they've just been at war forever. They've only ever known war, so they've had that like matrix slapped out of them thing as a culture.
Vital signs stabilizing.
All we do is complain constantly. But maybe that's what I mean. I feel like when you talk to some, I've always just sort of quite liked Polish people. In this country, Polish people get a little bit of gyp as well, because there's like this thing that like Polish people took our jobs. It's like one of those stupid arguments, you know, like, you know, the worst people in the world that have that mentality about anything ever. Americans, you get it with people being dickheads about people from Mexico coming to your country, or what, you know, that kind of thing. That meme took our jobs. Like, some people in England, I assume still have, but definitely when I was growing up, had that mentality of like, Polish people took our jobs. But actually what happened, I think, is yes, a bunch of sort of people came over from Poland because we have a country where people can move into it. Not their fault. And then what they did is they did jobs good. I think that's what happened. All the builders that were just sort of like half-arsing these jobs and doing a shit job, a bunch of Polish people came in with an actual work ethic and did a better job. So they started getting hired more, and they started working into positions where they were actually they had companies and shit like that. And then the old builders started getting pissed off, and I think that's what happened. And they were probably doing it for slightly less money, yeah, to send back to Poland. And then people were like, you're taking the money and sending it to Poland. Yeah, we'll do a better job then. But, so I remember when I was like working, you know, as a younger man, like when I was in my late teens and early 20s. But every time I would be on like a work site, or I'd be working with people who were Polish, they were just like good hard workers who would just talk and be normal. I wouldn't say they were complaining any more than anyone else in England. People complain endlessly in England. The whole country is grey. The sky is grey 90% of the year. The buildings are grey. Everyone's boring. Everything's the same. People only talk about the weather. Everyone here is just complaining over a cup of tea about the weather. So if all Polish people do is complain, then so do English people. So they equal, you know? But I actually found that most Polish people were just fucking decent people. And when I spoke to them, they just sort of had no bullshit about the way they would speak. I still kind of feel like that. They just don't. There's just not they're not bullshit artists. And I think a lot of people in England are bullshitting each other, and Americans are way the worst for it. Everyone's like, yeah, so I'm gonna be working up, and I'm actually gonna take a position at a new company, and I'm gonna be working as the managing director, assistant to the managing director. And you're like, you're like talking up your position, and you're just lying to me, you know? Polish person will come in and be like, duh, fucking hate my life. My wife is fucking beautiful, our children are beautiful, but I am going to kill self. And I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, no, I know exactly how you feel. You're my guy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I sort of vibe with it. I think that's why I think I like Polish people so much. I sort of vibe with that mentality. I think I am trans-Polish. A little bit of a scary thing to say, isn't it? Ooh, he said a thing. Yeah, I think I just vibe with Polish people, man. I don't know what it is. There's something about that mentality. Fuck, I didn't get quartz. That's what I need, isn't it? I vibe with it, man. Vibe with it, man. So yeah, I think when I say I like Polish people, it isn't necessarily that I think Polish people are like, you know, better than anyone. I think that I just am Polish. Such a weird conversation we're having right now. do I need 2 bits of glass or 2 bits of quartz? What was it? Uh-oh. 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 No, you really got to delete the VOD. I don't care, man. I've definitely said worse shit than that. At this point, if people want to cancel me, if someone comes in one day that has a grievance with me and they want to get me cancelled and they're in some sort of position where they're able to do that, it would take them less than 20 minutes of scrubbing my VODs to find enough ammo to fuck me up and ruin my career and silver bullet me. At this point, there truly is, like, no, it doesn't. I've said it, more than enough stuff that if you took it out of context, genuinely to try and harm me, professionally, you just write down some of the stuff that I've written out of context, which is all that you need to do to cancel someone, by the way. They don't actually have to have done anything bad. Obviously, people who have done things that are bad, they're being cancelled, that's different, but not me. I've never done anything bad. I'm a perfect human being. There is way more than enough to make a silver bullet to take me out. To the point where now I can honestly just start saying really offensive shit. Oh, they destroyed my, like, depth module, didn't they? If they destroyed my thing. Did he destroy my mobile fucking whatever the fuck it's called? Oh my god, what did that? Oh no, it's over there.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Abysmal. I want to end the stream. We have a lot of Polish Americans in Chicago and they're great dudes. Yeah, I never... Fuck! That hurt. That was someone from Liverpool appearing at my door tonight.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Polish people are pretty just like real, you know. I don't know if they're kind of nice and stuff, but you know, there's going to be a bunch of Polish people that are dickheads and a bunch of people that are nice, and then they're different to anywhere else in the world. Where you're from doesn't have that much of a bearing on like how much of a fucking cock you are. I do feel like they get a bit of a bad rap sometimes when ultimately I actually find in general they're not that annoying, you know. You know who's way worse? Americans. All of my friends are American. I like Americans. I like America to, you know, there's a lot about America that I like. Everything that I watch is American. They've got, you know, the entertainment industry in America is fucking brilliant. They've smashed it. But generally speaking, the average American on holiday, if you're out somewhere, almost anywhere that isn't America, now America still counts, but dude, and this is coming from English, British people on holiday are probably maybe worse. Okay, before all of you Americans start getting patriotic because you're fucking psychotic and you've all been MK Ultra'd, but the loudest, most obnoxious, most rude people on holiday, Americans every time. It's fucking bizarre. And I think it's because you come from like a service culture where everyone is like super nice to you guys because that's how they earn commission in your country. You don't just have like VAT added in and you don't have tips added into your pay and stuff. So everyone's really, like, you're weighted on like a fucking princess. Everyone has princess complex. You go to America and they're like, hi, how are you today? Hold on, let me just give you a hand job under the table and here's a free milkshake for you. Can I get a $3 tip? And you're like, Jesus, this is the fucking, I feel like a king. I've been treated like a king in the cheapest, shittest restaurant in the city. Right? Now an American comes over to this country and someone will fucking throw food in your lap. You want fish and chips? Yeah, there you go. Fuck off. Right? And Americans are like, I have never been treated so poorly. I can't believe that what just happened to us. This is unacceptable. And we would like our money back. And you're like, oh my God. You don't realize you just got 5 stars. The fact that that guy spat in your food, threw it in your lap, and then punched you in the mouth, that's the best you're going to get treated anywhere. You think that's bad? Man, I wish I was treated like that. But I think that might be an issue. That's why everyone in Europe and everyone in the UK and, you know, like, I guess probably Eastern Europe and stuff as well, feels like Americans are so obnoxious and loud and, like, annoying. Because when you go to America, you get treated really well because the service retail standard is so high because of, like, commission and stuff. You know, you get treated like that in these. You look at estate agents and stuff. They're the same as Americans, right? Because they get commissions and shit. People that are trying to sell you cars get a commission. Anywhere where they get commissions, you'll notice that suddenly you get that almost American standard of service. It's really weird. It's really like, yeah, and they're so obnoxious. It's so bizarre. Though I worked for an American company for a long time. An architecture company that was an American architecture company that had offices in London that I worked in. And the guys that, like, once Americans are not, like, on holiday, you know, like, once they're just sort of, like, they just live in the country, Americans quickly become very normal. Your average American that isn't on holiday and isn't sort of expecting a certain level of service pretty much just becomes British immediately. I never really sort of felt like there was much of a disparity there. Yeah, they're alright, really. Americans are alright, really. Deep down. Australians are the best. Australians for an all-rounder. I'll take an Australian. If you want a guaranteed, probably decent person, probably funny, probably can take a joke, probably isn't going to complain, probably is just going to, like, be relatively relaxed and, you know, just get on with their life, get on with their work, you know. Not going to be trouble, not going to create drama. Australians all day. Aussies all day. The only problem with Australians is they're all the fucking same. If you've met one Australian, you've met them all. There is no difference between one Australian to the next. Fucking, like, it's like they've been fucking printed in a fabricator. They're the same fucking person. But I'll take, you know, if you were like, Brad, you've got to go to a restaurant tonight, and you can either sit with a table of Americans, sit with a table of Polish people, sit with a table of English people, or sit with a table of Australian people. No contest, Australian. No contest. I'm not sitting with a bunch of Americans. They're going to wind me up, dude. Complaining about everything, being loud. It's going to be so embarrassing sitting there while they're, like, shouting and being really loud and, like, they just don't understand. Because they're in an American restaurant, they would just, that's what it's like. But in, like, any other restaurant in Europe or whatever, you're like, this is so cringe and embarrassing. And they don't know it. You know? And then they're going to complain and they're going to be, like, fucking doing them. They're going to be like, this doesn't taste nice. It doesn't taste like pure corn syrup and sugar. You're like, fucking hell. You know, fuck that, I ain't sitting with them. A table of Polish people. Now, that's my second, you know, I love Polish people more than I love Australians. But to sit at a dinner table while they're, like, chain smoking and telling you about how fucking unbelievably depressing their life is for dinner, when I've got the option of Aussies, I don't think so. A table of English people is not going to be too different to Polish, except you run the risk of those English people being from somewhere that isn't where you're from, which means they might try and kill you. If I sat at a table of English people and I sat down and I realised they're all from Liverpool, I'm fucked. They're going to stab me with the sharpest thing on the table. It's over. I'm dead. Now, Aussies, we're going to have a great time. Everyone's going to have a nice lager. We're all going to make jokes. I'm going to make some fucking cutting jokes about what they're wearing, or, you know, I'm going to roast the fuck out of them, because that's just how I have normal conversation with people. No one else on the planet can handle it. Americans are the most histrionic about it. They're going to cry, basically. The table of Polish people might try. I honestly think the Polish people would just like casually fucking kill me. They'll just fucking fire a bullet from under the table, and they'll just carry on talking while I bleed out. And they'll keep talking about the weather. English people is 50-50. It's too dangerous. Aussie people, the only people on the planet that I've ever been able to just walk into a group of people I've never met and just absolutely roast the fuck out of them, and all they do is laugh, is Australian people. Every single Australian person knows how to take a joke so well. They might be the only country that I think collectively you are almost always safe. Obviously there's going to be exceptions to this rule, but you are almost always safe sort of just making any, you know, off-color jokes or something. You can make jokes about anything. You just open up with a 9/11 joke kind of thing, you know? They're going to laugh at it. You can roast them, they're going to laugh at it. That is my favourite thing about Australians. I don't know what that is about them culturally, why they can handle it. I feel like it's probably just because the first thing that happens when you're Australian is like, Mum, can I go outside to play? And the mum's like, yeah, you can go outside. And then you walk out and it's like that scene in The War of the Worlds where he's running away from those giant spiders. And there's alligators and there's fucking, you know, there's creatures that just don't exist. That have only existed since this morning, that are now the most dangerous creature on the planet, and it's in Australia. And so they must just be like, well, I could die at any minute, so I'm not going to take life so seriously. And I'm going to enjoy myself while I'm here. It's the only theory I have on Australians being able to take a joke and just being like generally fun people. By the way, the Australian Traitors is great, if you haven't seen it. You know the show The Traitors? The American one is weird. I watched one episode of it and turned it off. I'm probably going to pick it back up, but whatever. The English one was pretty good. I enjoyed the English one, both seasons of it. The Australian one, get on it. If you like The Traitors, watch the Australian one. It's really good. Australian MasterChef is on my list. That's my next MasterChef. My problem with MasterChef is I don't know where the fuck to watch it. I don't know where the fuck Australian MasterChef is. I went to put it on the other day and I couldn't find it. Alright, I made the scene. I know I've done a lot of just chatting today. I mean, it's a Saturday. These streams are non-canon. No one watches on a Saturday. Yeah, because I've watched MasterChef England, but like I've not seen all of the seasons, just a bunch of them. England also has the UK one has the return of the not return of the champion one, the one where it has actual chefs in, is really good too. Instead of just like home cooks. But the UK MasterChef is like really serious. Like they take it properly. Like they take it seriously. Like the people who are in there are actually trying to cook, and they're actually trying to improve on their cooking, and the chefs that are hosting it sort of take it really seriously. The American one is like a reality TV show. I love reality TV shows, but like, I mean, it's vapid, you know, it's just, it's hollow. It just seems so stupid. Like the whole thing, the challenges are just so extreme, and the way that they edit it and the way that the judges react to the stuff is so stupid and over the top. And you can tell that there's producers and stuff that are editing this shit to try and like amp up how like fucking intense and crazy it is. You don't get any of that in the UK one. I've heard that the Australian one is right in the middle, which sounds great to me, to be honest. I've heard that the Australian one is a nice little blend of both those things. Bear in mind, I really like the US MasterChef. That's not me talking shit on it. I like that kind of reality TV. I'm watching The Masked Singer. That's the thing I'm watching through at the moment. I'm watching season upon season of it, which I genuinely believe is contributing to me suffering serious brain rot this week and really having headaches and stuff. So like this is, it's like no shade against it, you know what I mean? Like some people will hear you say like, oh, the UK one's like real real chefs, and the American one's like reality TV and it's fake. I love them both equally for that reason. I can watch something and be like, wow, that was cool, and took it seriously, and like, oh great, oh he's done amazing there. And then I can watch the American one where Gordon Ramsay drives a fucking tank into the fucking restaurant and everyone's screaming and going nuts in that American like reality TV way. They're jumping around like baboons and chimpanzees on the desks and that. And you're like, fucking hell. This is insane. They're insane. It's like a fucking scene from Batman Arkham Asylum where they're all just being let out. They've all got the fucking Joker fear toxin. The one he makes up. Anyway, yeah. I like them both. I like both types of TV. I watch a lot of that kind of American TV. Ink Master. That show is so frustrating to watch because it doesn't matter if you're good at doing tattoos or not. You know, the guy who does the best tattoos is probably not going to win because it would just be someone that completed a challenge to do with fucking welding. that got to pick a good tattoo to do, and now he gets to make it into the final. And all the good guys go out because they have to fucking complete a challenge where they have to they have to create a mural out of post-it notes on the side of a fucking building. And you're like, okay, this has got nothing to do with tattooing at all. I love it. One of my favorite shows. Gringo is struggling so badly to just, it has gone absolutely nuts. I mentioned MasterChef Australia and then Gringo just started typing so desperate to fucking get as many messages out about these opinions as they can that they've struggled so incredibly to write a single sentence correctly. Just breathe, dude. Take a deep breath. It's just a chat room. We're just chatting about MasterChef. Just Brad Backseats in the chat is him. Has not taken a breath for the last 3 minutes. Typing as hard. His fingers have snapped. Backwards. He's typed so hard, so desperate to get the message out. The fuck is this? Yeah. It's the fun thing about being the streamer is I don't have to type all the messages. It's the equivalent of when you're texting someone, la 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 la, and they send you a voice note. And they're like, this is a bit quicker. By the way, guilty. Done it so many times. I'm not saying I haven't done this, but you're texting and they send a voice. Yeah, this is just a bit quicker for me. Just wanted to reply to what you were saying there. The thing with it, right, is so I was thinking like what you were saying about going underwater and building a bioreactor. And then we can build 2 moon pools off the side of it, right? What I was thinking, sort of, I was going to type this out. I started typing it, but it's actually going to take too long. So I'm just going to send you this note. It's a little quicker for me. For you, you have to pause your life, and I'm just not going to get to the point. If I typed it, I would have just replied with a typing. I would have just said the answer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around the houses, and you're going to have to listen to a fucking 3-hour podcast. That's being a streamer, while you guys have to type in the response, MasterChef Australia is my favourite show! I get to fucking just download so much information in that time that you typed MasterChef Australia is my favourite show. There are times where, I tell you what happens to me. The reason I have to use a voice note is because my friends only message me when I'm doing the washing up. I love how difficult it must be to be one of my friends and watch this stream, because all I do is shit talk about. They must never know when to message me. Because I'm like, don't message me in the morning because I have massive fucking anxiety and I can't speak to anyone. And if you send me a message and I see my phone light up, I assume that it's a doctor telling me I've got cancer. So, thanks Dazza. Also, don't message me while I'm streaming because one, that's when everyone's messaging me. I always end up with 1,000 messages during the stream, which means I don't read any of them. I also clear the message and then forget you sent me one because I had to clear the notification because I have OCD. I can't stand having a notification on the screen. So I clear the notification but don't read the message, and then I don't have a notification to remind me that I got a message when I finished the stream, and so I've forgotten it and it doesn't exist now. Don't message me immediately after the stream in an attempt to avoid doing the previous one because I will be AFK, making dinner, washing up, and then eating dinner, and in that time I'm just not going to reply to you because I'm not even looking at my phone or my computer or anything like that. No point in messaging me after that because my brain is off. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've run out of spoons, and I'm probably just going to play Wild RP and pretend I don't exist in real life anyway, and then go immediately to bed. So don't message me. You know, my friends have no idea when to message me. But the one time you're going to get a voice note back from me is when I'm cooking or I have to like do washing up. You know, a lot of my friends will message me after my stream because I like don't message them during the stream. But the immediate hour and a half or so after my stream is when I am like, you know, I'm making food or I'm like washing up or something. But I want to reply to you because the thing here is that I want to talk to my friends. It's just that, so I will send a voice note. I'm just washing up and I just wanted to like, hey, Mugs, dude, let me tell you something, bruv. That message you just sent me was hilarious, dude. That is so funny. That is exactly what Wax Stevens' penis looks like. That is hilarious. I had to send you a voice note because I'm laughing so much about it. But I've got washing up liquid all over my hands and face. I don't want to play this game anymore and I don't want to stream anymore. I'm ending it. Don't message me. Don't message me. The key is not to message me. Isn't it? What have I told you guys? Don't forget to follow Brad Random because I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 16 and Wild RP over there sometimes. Domain expansion. Infinite messaging. When you say ending, all my friends are going to message me now. I ignore all of that. Yeah, I know. I actually don't care. I love the idea that my friends have such a fucking... They're so paranoid about when to message me, but actually... Anyone that's in my close inner sanctum of friends, you can message me whenever you want. I don't care. Let me tell you a final story. Let me tell you a final story about why I am... Here's the thing. I'm clinically insane. Okay? There's no good time to message me because I'm insane. Because the rules don't apply to me. Fire Frosty. So you know you can't lock onto this target because it doesn't exist. It's insane. The other day, I'll tell you how bad my anxiety is. The other day, I went to take a piss. I go into the toilet. I sit down as I always do to piss. I'm kidding. I take a piss. I'm pissing, and I'm just doing a piss. I look down, and what's coming out of my body can only be described as uranium. Right. It was glowing. It was so yellow. I couldn't believe it. Right. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right. It was fluorescent. And I'm like, dude, I drank water. I've been drinking water all day. I'm hydrated. And I'm like, what did I eat? What did I eat? I'm trying to think what I ate. Nothing weird. So, of course, my brain immediately goes, well, kidney failure. I got a week. I got a week to live. And that was me gone. 20, 25 minutes. Took a piss, right? Gone. 20 to 25 minutes pass before I come out of it and wander back over here to my desk and sit down and see the cup, the empty cup, where I had just drank a green tea. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow for Rip Out with Orkish and Maya.